Hello everyone, Mimikins here. Today I'm going to show you my ice hammer builds. This is great for monsters that are weak to ice. Teostra, Diablos, Black Diablos, Tzitzit-ya-ku and Odogaron all have level 3 weakness to ice. Kulve Tarroth is also weak to ice, but only after his gold plating is gone. There are other monsters which have a 2-star weakness rating to ice, but these usually have another element which is stronger to use. Make sure you don't use this build with Kushaladora or Legiana since they are immune to ice damage. I'm using the Tarroth Hammer Ice, which I got from the Siege event. It's got huge ice damage on it, 510. I did need to unlock the element, but once I did I was able to boost it further to a massive 660. I've seen people confused about elemental damage. I think the main reason for this is it just doesn't show. I'm not sure why Capcom only decided to show raw damage and not elemental damage, but it is quite annoying and hopefully it might be something that they change in the future. The elemental damage formula for Monster Hunter works like this. You take the elemental damage of the weapon and you divide that by 10. Then you multiply it by the sharpness level. I have white, so I'm going to times this by 1.125. This gives me 74.25 elemental damage per hit. However, each monster only takes a percentage of that damage. So if we look at Diablos, his stomach takes 35% ice damage. So we multiply the 74.25 by 0.35. And that is equal to 25.9875 damage per hit. But if we were to hit the head instead, that's 30%, so it would do 22.275 damage instead. This elemental damage is applied to every hit, so big hits with the hammer are going to do the same elemental damage each hit as, say, the spin attack on the hammer. Raw damage builds are going to do more damage on the big hits, but elemental will out DPS on all the small hits. How many times have you missed your finisher? This elemental damage adds up fast. I've got a few variations of the build I want to show you. The first one I really like the look of. I think for a mix set this works well. Let's look at the skills. I've got earplugs level 5. I really like this skill for hammer as too many times I've been interrupted by roars while doing combos. It also gives a good opportunity to get some damage in while the monster's roaring. Ice attack. This boosts my ice damage on my weapon. Free element. I needed this skill to unlock the elemental damage on my weapon. Weakness exploit. A massive 50% on affinity on weak spots, which is where you want to aim to attack anyway. Handicraft. This has increased my sharpness level to white. Having white sharpness gives you a higher multiplier on attacks and stops you from bouncing off the monster. Power prolonger. This just came with the hands, it's not that great for hammer though. Speed eating. This came with the body, but it's always nice to be able to use consumables faster. Flinch free. I like to have this skill in mostly for group play. It helps stop those friendly fire stumbles which interrupt combos. This is just a duel, so if you plan on using it for solo play you could swap it for something else. Affinity slide. I quite like this skill on hammer. It gives a 30% affinity buff lasting around 15 seconds each time your character slides. There are so many slopes in Monster Hunter that I often find myself sliding without even meaning to. Hammer makes particular good use of this, as you can slide while charging. A quick slide before going into a combo, or doing one of those mid-air spinning bludgeons. For only one jewel slot, it's pretty cheap to put in, and I do see myself using this. Protective polish. I love this skill. It adds a buff to your sharpness meter, which lasts around 1 minute. During that time you don't lose any sharpness. It is great to use just before you start attacking a monster. This next build, I swapped the body, legs and some jewels around. You will lose speed eating and affinity side, but you'll gain 2 more handicraft. This means that you won't have to sharpen it as often, so you'll have less downtime stuck in that animation. Here are the jewels. Again, you could swap out the flinch free if you want for something else if you're playing solo. The third set drops the extra handicraft for more attack, making each hit do more damage. Here are my jewels. I have tried to keep all of these sets with a decent fire resist, in case you want to use this set against Teostra. Using this set along with element large from the canteen can often help you recover from mistakes. Which build do you guys like the best? Thanks for watching, please support our channel by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.